Hello my friends, welcome to the metal shop. Today we're installing sway bars on the Cobra. Well, today we're going to install the rear sway bar, still waiting for the front to arrive. So I purchased Hybach rear sway bar. This is just a stock Fox Body Mustang part because I have a Fox Body rear end on there. You can see the mounts there, even though I have aftermarket 4-link, it will mount right there. This one, the rear, I've done these before. I'm not going to film it underneath the car, but it's really just 2 bolts here, 2 bolts the other side. Shouldn't be a big deal to install that. Comes with hardware. This is the hardware they give you, which honestly it's a little underwhelming. There's no washer. The nuts here are like peened over, if you can see that, so that it's like a one-time use. It's going to go on really hard, and I mean, I would just use a nylock nut, I would think. I also have the stock Ford hardware that I purchased for the last Cobra, which kind of sort of does the same thing. The nut only goes into this captured, the bolt only goes into this captured nut so far, and then it's kind of has to force its way through, and it kind of mars up the threads there, so it acts like a locker. I'm not sure which I'm going to use. I'll get under there and give it a shot. Oh, here, hang on. Let's open this up. Whoa, nicely done. All right, you can see it's red. That SR Performance makes a nice bar too. I would have used theirs, but theirs only comes in a kit that has the front and the rear. This is a lot thicker, heavier duty than the stock Fox piece. This is a nice heavy piece. So what we're going to do is we're waiting for the part to come in, but it'll be the same video, is the sway bar for the front, which piece from Fort's Parts Connection down in Framingham, Mass, made specifically for the Factory 5 Cobras. And unfortunately on the Mark 1 and 2, probably 3 as well, you have to weld. You have to weld a bracket here onto, this part of the suspension here that will accept the sway bar, and then I think it uses the same hole here in the lower A-arm. Anyway, there'll be more on that once I have the parts. And also, I'm gonna have to relocate that horn. I'll hold this lower radiator tube up out of the way a little bit. Nice piece. I talked to Mike Forts there. Super nice guy, and hopefully I'll have those parts early next week. But anyway, let's get that big heavy red thing mounted on the rear. I know I say it's easy, but wish me luck. All right, my friends. Well, she's on there. I'm not sure. I measured underneath the tires with a level. I've got 2 inches, barely, of ground clearance. The suspension is at full droop. I've got those jack stands are on the frame itself, so the suspension is at full droop. Maybe when it's resting on the weight, that the bar will raise up a little bit when the suspension moves up with a little bit more ground clearance. I'm just not so sure about that. I'm laying here on a creeper in my driveway. So yeah, I guess we'll see. A couple of battle scars on that thing. Wasn't too bad putting it on, obviously. I hit it with a jack stand, sliding the jack stand under it, which was fantastic. So yeah, remains to be seen. I won't have any problem selling that if I need to. Slightly used Fox Mustang rear sway bar. I put it on my Fox Mustang. I did use grade 8 hardware that I had in the drawer, and with nylock nuts and washers instead of the grade 5 kind of junk that they included with the kit. Didn't opt for the stock factory hardware. And these, I'm not sure, it fit going to with the bar to the outside of that bracket. The bracket, there's no way it would have gone on the inside. I got one side on, and the other one was off by more than an inch, and I don't think you're going to bend it that much to get it on the inside. These aftermarket 4-link bars, you know, lower 4-link bars, they're all over the place with where they choose to mount the sway bar. So I guess, you know, once we get this thing on the road, we'll find out if she scrapes. Heck, that thing, I mean, geez, that thing's hanging down so low, we might even, big enough pothole or something that might actually hook it. Ay, ay, ay. All right, well, guess we'll see. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Metal Shop. Today, I've been working on fabricating oil lines for the remote oil filter. I didn't like the plain rubber lines that were on the car. They were cheap looking, had regular hose clamps. So I decided I'd fabricate some using the Fragola push light that's got this really nice vintage look. You'll see I have one mounted, and I took one off. I actually, in full transparency, I had this job completely done yesterday, but I had ended up having an issue with one of the hoses. So what happened was, these are the ones it came with. They just look like crap, just plain rubber hose, you know, clamps, so on. So I made these lines, and originally what I was going to do was I was going to use the push light ends and an adapter like this, but I thought to myself I'd be smart and I'd buy these special fittings that have a 5/8 push, you know, hose barb. Some big old bee or something in here buzzing around me. Anyway, that's distracting. 5/8 push barb to the 1/2-inch NPT, and it's on a swivel. These are expensive. They're like $20 a piece. I really wish that I'd stuck with this. It would have been a lot easier. These I could put on with a socket, and this, you know, you could tighten these up relatively easily. What I end up having to do, because I don't have a 7/8 open-ended wrench, is I had to use this thing. This is all I had. And you notice how big that is? It was a real pain to get those fittings put in place. I ended up taking the oil pressure sensor off just so that I could reach the top fitting right there. I mean, ridiculous. Anyway, what happened was I get the thing all, oh yeah. First thing I did, I screwed up the hoses. I put them on reversed, had no oil pressure. And the problem was that, I'm gonna we'll take a quick pause here. I'm gonna draw a little diagram. Anyway, as I was saying, this is the adapter that screws onto the block. And the problem that I had, I took it apart, didn't really take note because I could see the arrows on it. Well, this one has fittings on both sides, and the fittings on this side are capped off. What I saw when I went to put it back together was I could see the fittings on this side here. And that's how I hooked up the hoses. But that was incorrect. So I got no oil pressure. So no big deal. I flip-flop the hoses, get that working. And then this one here had, I don't know what happened, but it was soft. It was spongy. It was weeping oil, right? Nothing wrong with the joint or anything. But out here, it was just weeping oil. Huge pain. And of course, the other hose is just a little bit long. If it had been that one, I could probably cut it back and been fine. This one I made just right. I have no extra, so when I cut this one back, it's going to be too short. Now I have a little bit left, but this is all I have left. I have enough to make one more hose. And that doesn't work. I have some other options. I have some of this same push light, but it's 1/2 inch, and I'll just convert to this, and I'll use the same push-on fittings. You know, the whole point of this was I wanted to make this hose serviceable, removable, and you're never going to get the hose barb out, so you have to, you know, you need to have the swivel. So anyway, so I'm gonna get this hose fabricated, put on the car, and hopefully we'll be good. So, wish me luck. Stand by. All right, well, got 2 functioning remote oil filter lines that don't leak. Look the part. Nice vintage looking cloth braided lines. -10. Now I know that the original cars used a -12, but I mean, that's just giant. That's overkill. I mean, they were race cars, but yeah, got it started up. And really that is the last project. I mean, I've got sway bars to do, but I'm going to drop this thing on the ground and drive it. I mean, it is beautiful outside, pushing 70 degrees today here in the metal shop. So, you know, lots of scrapes and blisters. Worth it? Not sure. I'm not sure I'd do it the same way again if I had it to do over again. Oh yeah, I also have the, that is a royal purple oil filter. But of course, the stickers face the front, but it's got the Rotunda label on it to look the part. So what I did was, here, we'll go over here and I'll show you. Because I'm going to make another, and I'll probably make a video on that too. But I got the 38A oil filter, fits forward from like 64 on up. And what I do is peel the royal purple label off of it, give it just a little bit of a scuff, paint it with color, engine enamel, gold, and I have, there's the sticker, there's the Rotunda sticker. If I'm cute, what I should do is I should put this on upside down, since the orientation of the oil filter. Anyway, little things. You know, little things. These are nice. These are really nice oil filters. Lots of people that buy those and cut them apart and do the whole thing find that those are pretty superior. Good as, you know, good or better than your wicks. Anyway, yeah, so got the other lines here tucked away. You can kind of see them. Should I ever want to run the oil cooler? I can. Really unnecessary on a street car. You want your oil, you know, up around 180 degrees. 190 degrees, you don't want it much cooler than that. So unless you're racing, then really not necessary to have it. But I've got it for the look. So yeah, gotta get this thing, get the hood put back on, get this thing dropped on the ground, and take it for a ride. So cool, awesome. Anyway, my friends, thanks for watching, and click the like, click the subscribe, click the little bell, get notifications. I'm trying to crank these videos out. Hit me up in the comments. Still replying to all comments. Truly appreciate when they're constructive, and even when they're not, I'll have a little fun at your expense, and then probably delete your comment. Anyway, give me that thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and take care, my friends.